We're back again, just like Arsenal. Arsenal taking on Manchester United, the big game of the weekend. Make sure you smash a like on the video, and we are going to get into the preview right about now. So, guys, here we are back again. Another preview, another Premier League game. And I have not one, not two, but three very special guests on the channel today. It's going to be a good one, and I'm looking forward to it. And Arsenal versus Manchester United is a big, big game, and it's always a vibe. So, of course, I had to bring the vibes to the channel. And we have got Mr. Vibe himself, the captain of Vibe FC, the leader of the Resistance, and also the host of Midnight Vibes on the Football Terrace. Make sure you go check that out, guys. Of course, we had to do this. Elite KJ is in the building. How we doing, bro?
Yo, well, bro. Yo, that intro was lit, fam. Like, thank you so much. Glad to be on. And yeah, man. Woo! This game's getting to me. I ain't gonna lie, man. But yeah, we will chat about it in a sec. Thank you for having me.
We only do big intros on this channel, mate. Only do big intros. Of course, Manchester United fan, Elite KJ, and he's joined by another Manchester United fan, another very grounded, very sensible Manchester United fans. And trust me, you don't find many of them. And we have got, of course, the man himself, Indiana. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good. I'm not gonna lie. I was pissed when I heard that Arsenal chant because that puts me in a bad mood. But your intros have lifted me up, so I'm good now.
Good. And here to back me up as an Arsenal fan, of course, it's none other than the man himself, Mr. Positivity. You've seen him on the channel before. Big up yourself. Egal, how you doing, my man?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Man's punching screens, bro.
Nah, that's what happens after being left with KJ in Indiana for 20-30 minutes, bro. They're gonna leave you going crazy. I'm telling you.
So then, guys, right, before we even get into the preview, we have got a lot to cover, but I just want to go to each and every single one of you and just say, right, Premier League season. What have you made of the Premier League season as a whole so far? I'll go to you, KJ, first.
So as not my individual team, but as a season so far, the whole thing.
The whole
team. Man, I've enjoyed it, bro. It's been a very mad season. A season I can't recall any season like this before in terms of how close everyone is to each other. How many teams are dropping points? How many teams are gaining points that you wouldn't expect to gain points? It's been a fun ride. I would say that obviously with my team doing so well this season, obviously we lost to Sheffield yesterday. But in terms of as a whole, my team's done very well. So the entire thing's been very bad, and there's still more twists and turns left to go as well. So whoever wins this Premier League is gonna deserve it, bro, because it's not easy. It's not.
100%. Indiana, what are you made of the Premier League season so far?
I just think it's not the best season in terms of quality of football, but it's definitely the most exciting season. It's an incredible season. You can't predict anything. Arsenal have been back twice. 1 minute they're losing, then they're winning. They're back. It just keeps happening. Man United have been like fighting for a title, then they're not fighting for a title. Everyone counts out and then comes back in again. Ollie's out, Ollie's in. Frank's ruining Chelsea, everything about Chelsea. Then Tuchel comes in and they're back as well. So Chelsea and Arsenal are back. Man City are back at the table Everyone's back. I just love this season. This is the season the Premier League came back. That's it.
Yeah, yes, legit. It's back.
It is a mad season. It is a mad season. Egal, what you saying, my bro?
Back to reality. We're not back,
That's
bro.
the most ironic song you've ever sang.
What?
That's the most ironic song you've ever sang. Back to reality.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Oh man, listen. I genuinely feel like every time I hear Arsenal's back, you know what I think? I think that they want us to believe it, and they want us to say it, and they want us to have egg on our face. That's why I get so rattled by it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let me fully explain why that happens. It happened, and look what I've done to KJ. The judge is done him again. But yeah, let's talk about it, bro. What's going on? Big up to Brendan, bro.
Now,
Yeah,
Egal, you're exactly. By the way, you're exactly right. By the way, like that's why we do it. But you know what's funny? That makes it even more funny when we do this. People still fall for it. It's amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I've gotten you a couple of times with it as well. You've only just started to cut it on to why we say it. But yo, listen, you guys. I'm not gonna say it to them because Laurie Nix in the comments was saying take a shot every time KJ and Yan say that we're back, and I don't want you guys to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to be healthy and that. So I won't say it, but you guys are doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't drink the juice, Laurie. Don't drink the juice.
Yeah, we'll keep that on the low down. Arsenal are doing well at the moment. The judge is strong in Arsenal at the moment, but we'll keep that on the low. We'll definitely keep that on the low. Of course, we'll get into it. Talk Manchester United losing yesterday, surprise defeat to Sheffield United. Get it all out, boys. Get it all out. Let me know how that made you feel. Let me know what happened.
Disgraceful. That's all I can say. Disgraceful. From back to front, there's only like a couple of players. If a couple is maybe too much, like one or two, like literally, it was just not good enough at all. And we saw old United creep in terms of the mentality, in terms of when it's time to go show what you've got to become champions, you fall and you bottle it. Like I'm not going to shy away. We bottled it on yesterday, and so it's one of those ones where, as a United fan, we were enjoying where we were at, but at the same time, we always in the back of our head, in the back of our mind, know that these things can happen, and it's all we want is our team to prove us wrong and show that they're progressing and they're going forward. And yesterday's one of those games where they prove us right, and unfortunately, we got to take the banner because we deserve it. They are the worst team in Premier League history as of right now. So, yeah, man, overall, not good enough. And it was a disgraceful performance.
Do you think tiredness maybe had a factor?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
It's what these players are. There's not enough leaders. Once you take out our first 11, there's not enough depth in terms of professionalism, leaders, we know this about this team. Those of us who know, we know. Does that make sense? We know the drop off is massive. We know that players won't step up. We know there's a mentality issue. It's nothing new. And in reality, I'm happy we lost the bottom of the league rather than Man City. Like, if we're going to lose a game, lose that game. That's cool. Like, we're going to drop points somewhere. Like, it's we've been at the top for that long. To be fair, when you look at our team, when you look at Man City, you look at Liverpool, supposedly the greatest side ever. Like, I think we're still doing all right.
We are doing good in terms of our overall season and where we thought we would be. I didn't think we would be anywhere near where we are right now due to how the summer transfer window went, how our club is ran, and how our players are going into the season. I already knew that these moments would come. I just expected more from them, to be fair. But the fact that we are where we are, I'm happy. I'm not going to sit here and be like, we lost to Sheffield United and that's it. Our season's done. It's over. We're now going to fall down into the pits. Like, that's not. I don't think that's going to happen. It just stings.
How long,
it?
That's the thing.
Yeah. It just stings.
That's the thing that's worrying. It's like when we dip, we could dip for one game or 1 month. We just don't
Yeah.
know with these players. That's the
Yeah.
issue with
That's true. That's very true. So overall, yeah, me and Andy and I will probably both say we're happy with where we are, but we still have that thing in the back of our head. It's like at any moment, these men can fall off a cliff. And if any player is to sum that up, is Martial. Martial is the one player that sums up how United fans really feel about United in terms of we know what's there, but at any moment, and we have no idea why. We have no idea what's going on. Like that, it can fall to pieces. So yeah, we're very cautious in our optimism, but we'll still also have a good time when we sit at the top of the table and that 21 and all that business.
Oh man, you know what? I would say I feel like you guys have been not in our situation, but you've been scarred based on the fact that you have been winning so much that these past couple of years have scarred you guys from believing that you could get back there easily. And every time you get close to it, until you win it, you're not going to believe it. So almost like you don't believe in your own hype at times, where other fans, the moment they're in it, they believe their own hype and they get gassed. Where Manchester United fans, certain set, not all of you guys. There is some that are like Alfie that are dancing and loving the fact that they're top of the league every single day. But you guys, even though you're at top of the league, I've never heard you guys once say, yeah, we're favorites now. We're going to win the league. That's to me shocking. I remember when we were in this situation, Brendan, Leicester, we beat Leicester, Danny Welbeck. We're like, yo, Danny Welbeck won us the league in December or January, whenever it was. We were laughing. We're like, we're going to do it. Arsene Wenger's going to leave on a high. And you know what? It all came crashing down. We ended up losing the league by 10 points. Actually, we were in third at some points. We weren't even in second. So
Exactly. And on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? Do you think he's overperforming with his squad, or do you think he's in and around about where he should be, or do you think he's underperforming? What do you make of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
He is where he should be. We can't sit here and complain about players' mentality and players not performing well and players aren't good enough for Man United, and then be like, oh yeah, but Ole's underperforming, we should be winning the league. You know what I mean? Like, he's performing where we should, which is top 3 in the Premier League. We got that last season. So that's a bare minimum for this season, and we're there right now. So Ole is doing he's doing a fine job. It's not overly amazing. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's not like what people make out to be. Like it's the worst thing that's happening right now, and he's no good and he's absolutely awful. He's just okay, and that in itself is fine, in my opinion.
Okay,
I actually think he navigates the squad very well. Like, his management is brilliant. It really is. If you think of the things that go wrong in games, these are things that are coached. Like, you don't ever coach stand still, don't tackle, don't press. You never coach those things. So when it comes to having a happy squad, the players all want to play for him. I like that. We have to remember, it's a bit like Arsenal, right? Managers buy players to fit their system. So every player really is a system player. When you look at the players that both Arteta and Ole have in their squad, they're not first 11s that both these managers have built. They're having to work with what they've got. If you give them a few transfer windows, allow them to move players on, bring players in, that's a different story. Again, we know what these players are. We know it's tough to bring balance to a side when these aren't players that you've brought in yourself. So navigating that is a tough thing to do. I have to praise him for that. Could he do better? I don't know. I think he's still growing in the job, if I'm honest. But has he done a bad job? If we make top 4, it'd be the first time it's been done back to back since Fergie. So that's progress.
That's facts.
So it's about
facts.
It's about us moving forward. And I don't care if it takes us another 3 years, as long as each season we're still progressing. That's where I am with Ole.
That's fair.
Can I say my input on this game? I feel like you guys play up to the level of your opponents. And when you guys are playing the lesser teams, there's almost an understanding that you guys are going to get that goal. It's going to eventually, the floodgates are going to open up. It's almost like the intensity is not there from the first minute. And that's just me watching as a neutral. I'll see you guys playing Everton, and Everton will get the first goal, and then it's like, now we got to get the second goal. Now we got to get the third goal, and you know what I mean? That's how you guys step into gear. And then when you guys face the lesser teams, like what happens is until they punch you in the mouth, you guys don't show up immediately. Sometimes it takes that sucker punch before you guys realize who you guys are facing. Sometimes, and that when you're facing City, Chelsea, Spurs. Maybe not Spurs this year, but City and Chelsea, you guys were like, you know what? We know what we're getting into.
That's where the mentality problem. Because if you think about when we last played Arsenal were on a terrible run, and it was kind of like it was a feeling of players on heels, like we can walk this game, and that's my issue with the players. You shouldn't need good management to get yourself up for a game. We're not talking about tactics. We're not talking about systems. We're talking about mentality. We're talking about players having desire, wanting the ball, showing for the ball. And I think, Egal, you're spot on. We play the lesser teams, and it's almost as if we're going to walk this game. We don't have to get up for it. And then it's not until the second half sometimes where they come out, which is a reason why we've played better in the second half. You just know the manager or the other players on the bench or the coaches, whoever it may be, having a word with these players and saying, you have to step up now. We've heard the coaches on the bench shout, move the ball quicker.
That's true.
It's a player problem. I'm telling you, there's a huge mentality problem. We need more leaders in this squad. If we win this league this season, I will give all props to the coaching staff and the manager. Because navigating that and changing a mentality in players is massive. It's a huge thing.
Funnily enough, I don't know whether Gal would agree with me on this one, but we have a similar sort of issue at Arsenal. We get up for certain games, but then the lesser teams we don't get up for. I've noticed as well how in recent weeks we tend to start a lot quicker in the first half, whereas as before we would always start games slow and rely on a second half performance to drag us out of it.
You're getting emotional, man. Get it out.
But yeah, it's very similar for both sides, and that's what makes this such an intriguing game, I think.
Yeah, the only difference between Arsenal and United are two things. One, we have more money, and two, we have better players, and that's it. We are basically identical in everything else, in mentality, in how our clubs are run, and how it's been mismanaged for years. Yours from, you could say, from when you guys moved to the Emirates?
06.
06. So yours from like 06, and then when the Glazers bought Man United, I think that's around the same time as well. 04. If correct me if I'm wrong, Indiana.
I think
04, 05. But when those pagans took over, that's when we may have won Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. That's all good, but the way they still ran us poorly. There were protests then when they came in. There was protests during the glory days. There were protests up until last year. You know what I'm saying? So our two clubs are ran terribly. And it's no surprise that both clubs are in the position that they're in with the kind of mentality that the players have, because they're owned by similar pagans, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so there's not much separating Arsenal from United, bar the money and quality of players on there. Other than that, they're basically the same thing. And I always say
disagree with you on one thing. I would say Manchester United and Arsenal are not run poorly in the sense of a business sense. They're run poorly as a footballing club. They're not run to be successful footballing clubs. They're run to be successful businesses.
Yeah, which is fair, but what are we here for? We ain't here to be, my club's the best business in football. Like, no one cares. You know what I mean? Like, when you are winning, you become the best business because you're doing what your product is supposed to be doing, which is being the best. I don't care if my commercial revenue is amazing, but we're sitting there in 8th, 6th, and barely getting 4th. We can't get top 4 in two years in a row. Big Man United. Commercial revenue means nout when you're doing all of that. So that's why I understand the sentiment of, but they're ran as a good business, but I'm not here about the business. If I cared about business, I'll go join Apple. I'll go join Google. That's when I care about how they
KJ, that's
Yeah,
problem
and that's the
they
issue.
do. That's the problem.
And that's the issue. And I always say, this is why I say Viva la Resistance. You know what I'm saying? Screw them pagans, bro. Because they don't care about the game. They don't care about winning. And what's the point of playing football if you're not here to win in it? So, it is what it is. I could talk about them for ages, innit? So I'm just going to shut my mouth.
We've got a comment here. Red Lucifer is a Manchester United fan. He said, postpone the game. Postpone the game. We've also got Chris. Chris is in the chat as well. He's enjoying the podcast so far. We've got Will here as well. Yeah, we've got quite a few people in the chat, guys. Quite a few people. So, of course, we touched on Manchester United and the game yesterday. And, of course, we've got to touch on the Arsenal game as well. We'll start with you again. 3-1 winners away to Southampton. That's 5 wins in our last 6 Premier League outings now. What are you saying? Are we back?
We're definitely turning the corner. I'm not gonna lie to you. No. When it comes to performing better, no one would have predicted us to after the Everton game to win all those games on the bounce. Only drop 1 point from now since the Chelsea drop 2 points from now since the Everton game where we last lost, and also to see Nicolas Pepe performing the way he's playing, Saka performing the way he's playing. The whole team seems to be galvanized by the youngsters that are performing so well. And also the biggest thing about our change in our form has been the fact that we've been more unpredictable in the way we play. We now have an attack that comes from both ends, and we have that link-up play with the Thomas Partey being healthy now and Emil Smith-Rowe linking the play from the midfield and the attack.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably agree with most of what you just said there, to be honest with you. I think the only thing that sort of puts a little bit of a downer on it for me is, yes, it's 5 wins in the last 6. But then if you look at the opposition that we played, we should really be beating them teams anyway. What do you guys make of it, KJ and Indiana? Arsenal beating Southampton?
When you went a goal down, I was thought, let's see what Arsenal got now. And then you got your Pepe obviously was at fault, and Leno was at fault for the first goal. Then Pepe comes and steps up and makes up for his mistake by getting a goal. And you're like, okay, cool. Can you guys get the second? You guys get the second and then close off with the third. And overall, it was a good performance, a very good performance against the Southampton team, who are no mugs. They're not bad. You know what I mean? They're not down in the pits. They're a good footballing team and a good side, and they're still above you right now as it stands. So I'm not going to make out like, oh yeah, Arsenal just beat like a really, really small crap team. No, you beat a good team, and you deserve to win that game. And Arsenal's form, again, you guys I'm giving you guys credit. You know what I'm saying? Some Arsenal fans don't want to hear it because they're scared, but that's okay. You guys, yeah, you guys are performing really well, and you guys should have confidence going into this game. And you guys should be infused with what's happening. Saka is an amazing young talent. I rate him highly. He's very versatile, and on that right-hand side, he's just like a different animal right now. Right-wing Saka, I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? Emil Smith-Rowe, one addition from your youth academy, bringing in energy and pace and work rate and creativity to your side, where he was lacking in Willian and dead man there. Lacazette is finding some kind of form. Whether you like him or not as an Arsenal fan is a different question, but he is producing some kind of thing. And I know Aubameyang's going through a very hard time right now, and I hope everything turns out for the best for him on a human level. But in terms of football, is Aubameyang someone you need to bring back into the fold right now? Like, do you actually need to force him in and try and get him into the team when you've got players hungry and fighting for the badge? You know what I'm saying? Pepe, will he kick on now? Like, that's a question you need to ask him, because he's been terrible for a year and a half now. And you guys have got some good form going. So yeah, man, like, props to you guys. And we just gotta see how you guys handle now going into a game where it's a big game, it's a tough game. I think your toughest game in your good form. Like, let's see how you guys handle that. I'm curious.
You know what, KJ? That was the nicest thing I've ever heard you say about Arsenal.
Hey man, I told you I can be nice to you, man, when I want to, and I just choose not to.
Indiana, you got anything to add to that, mate?
I agree. I completely agree with what KJ's saying. When I look at teams, right, I look at the body language of players, I look at their movement, I look at the runs they're trying to make. I'm seeing Pepe make incredible runs. Like that goal was outstanding. I didn't think Pepe was going to do that this season. Lacazette's movement to get on the end of the ball, that desire to get to the back post. Saka, incredible, outstanding player. Rate him highly. Like this is a side that can carry Bellingham right now. You actually carried the guy right now. Do you know what I'm saying? You've got Aubameyang to come in. Should he come in? Probably not. I don't think you need him to come in. Smith impressed me massively. He's changed a few. Like Xhaka's looking up now, playing the ball forwards first time instead of taking like 2, 3, 4 touches. And I think Odegaard coming in should create a competition for those forward players to make them fight even harder. Like, I don't know. You're going to hate for saying this, right? But I don't know at what stage you can actually say Arsenal are back if it's not now on this run form. If it's not now, when can you say it?
That is true. If not now, when, blood? And
Are you going to wait?
now.
Until you win? You're going to wait until you win the Premier League to say because for me it seems like you are. You want a good run. The squad looks happy for the first time in ages. They got the system down. The players are fighting. They're working for each other. You're getting good signings through the door. I don't know what you need to hit.
League position matters.
Yeah, if we win,
You can climb it easy.
Because I swear on the Football Terrace, we asked you, what would be acceptable, and you said Europa League and 10th. That league position is worse than your season last season. So does it actually matter?
No, that's the difference. If we win the Europa League, we kill two birds with one stone. We also get a European trophy, which we haven't gotten in a long time, and we also get into Champions League. If we were to get top 4, then people would say Arsenal in some sort of capacity are back to the normal. They're not back to winning leagues. They're back to the normal.
You still are back to something. So you are back. That's not a lie.
Yeah, but that would just be back to normality. Back to what as fans we were saying was stagnation. Because don't forget, Arsene Wenger was also the whole Arsene Wenger out thing started because we consistently kept getting top 4. I was getting bantered before because they're like, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're extremely loyal because all you care about is top 4. Like that's what it was. Like we were getting bantered. They're like, oh, you found a good one when your wife's an Arsenal fan because she's loyal. Like that's what we were getting as fans. So once we get past that stage and we get back into the realm of things, I can see it happening maybe in 2 years' time.
Yeah, Egal, how many more, and Brandon, how many more years of getting cut top 4 will you then start to believe again? Because surely getting it one season isn't enough to be like, oh yeah, we're back to normality.
There has to be building blocks for me. So first, we have to set the groundwork of a good up-and-coming young team that can grow together, and you have a core of young players that can grow together and new signings that can grow together. That's 1. 2, you have to achieve the goal of getting back into the Champions League. Then when you achieve that, you have to kick on by signing players to push yourself into the upper echelon of the top teams in the league. Once you do that, if you're fighting for winning the league and you're in the Champions League and you're competing in the Champions League, that is progression, and that's when we can say we're back.
I would agree with that. Minimum expectation as an Arsenal fan is top 4 Champions League football. We've been out of it for nearly 4 years, 5 years now, and we need to get back into the Champions League. We need to make sure we're in a sustained period where we're getting Champions League football, and then we can start to think about moving on to pushing for the league title, which is the ultimate. Really, it has to happen. When we moved to the Emirates, we was promised we was going to compete with all these big teams for the top honours in the game, and 14 years down the line, we've competed for the league title once. You know, it's not good enough. And
you lost it out to a small team as well. It's not like you lost it out to a big team too. Like,
I'm not even talking about that season though, KJ. I don't think we competed for that title.
Which one are you thinking about?
Because we finished 10 points behind Leicester. I'm thinking about 07-08 season when we finished 4 points behind you guys.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say that season with Leicester, although, you know, we was up there and we was there throughout the season in the top, you know, 3. When you look at how far behind we finished, I don't think that's really competing for a title, to be honest.
What about 2014 when we finished 3rd with only like 5 points behind?
You could probably put that one in there as well, possibly. But you know, two seasons out of 14, and we moved here to compete for titles. You know, it's not really great. It's not good enough, really. So, guys, of course, Arsenal versus Manchester United at the weekend. What's going to happen in the game, and who is going to win the game? Go for it again.
Can I go first? We're just let me just get out of the way because they're both going to say it. Everyone here is going to say Arsenal's going to win. There's no point of asking. We know Indiana's going to say Arsenal's going to win. We know Cage is going to say Arsenal's going to win. They're going to relieve the pressure, deflections like they're playing.
No. I'm allowed to be honest.
Go ahead.
I said I'm allowed to be honest.
No. There's nothing wrong with being honest. Anyways, I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win in a tight 2-0 victory. Hopefully we can make it 3-1. But I think it's gonna be a 2-1, and it's gonna go to us. And it's gonna be at the end of the day. People might say we're lucky, but we're just gonna nick the win at the end. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Okay.
Can I just say, so 2-0, and then hopefully you can make it 3-1. So hopefully that same scoreline, but concede one. Is that what you're saying?
No. I meant 2-1. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, fair enough. I personally think it's going to be a draw. Definitely think it's going to be a draw. I don't care what the numbers are. It's just going to be a draw. I personally believe if you ask me what are the percentages of both teams winning, it's right now, it's everything in my head, it's 60% Arsenal, 40% Man United. Arsenal have the better form. They've got a better record against Manchester United, not just at home, but also in the league in general. In both ties, you've got the better record in the last 4 years. And right now, Man United, mentally, are they strong enough right now? Is a question that I do not have the answer to answer this question. Because every time we come and play you guys, something always goes wrong. So I ain't going to be sitting here being like, oh, yeah, we're going to smash you guys in that now, bro. Like, it's always a tough game against Arsenal. And recently, you guys have found a way to win, whether that's Pogba giving you a penalty or Xhaka like asking the wind to take a shot 30 yards away from De Gea. You know what I'm saying? Like somehow, shape or form, Arsenal judge kicks in, yeah, and you might get the win. So I'm just gonna predict a draw, but I hope we win. I hope we do.
Do you know what? I think it's going to be a draw. I think I'm actually leaning more towards a Man United win. And the reason why I say this is because whenever everything goes in Arsenal's favour, like Manchester United losing yesterday, so it sort of adds a bit of pressure to them. The fact that Chelsea only got a draw as well, so they couldn't pull away from us a little bit. You know, whenever everything goes in our favour, we just tend to bottle it. You know, we're a bit like Spurs in that way, where we just tend to bottle these sort of things. I worry about the fact that we tend not to start games quickly. We tend to rely on a second half performance. And I also worry as well, this is where the game will be won or lost for me, will be Mikel Arteta's starting 11. You know, if I see Hector Bellerin at right back instead of Cedric, we're going to have issues because Marcus Rashford running at Bellerin, nah, mate. If Thomas Partey doesn't start the game because he limped off against Southampton, then again, we've got issues in the midfield. Same for Emil Smith-Rowe as well with creativity. So I think a lot of it sort of relies on who's starting the game as well, and how quickly we can start. But I would probably agree with KJ and say I think this is going to be a draw. It just happens, when you got big games and they're getting hyped up, and then all of a sudden they just turn out to be a deadbeat game, 1-1 draw or something stupid like that. So yeah, I think draw myself as well. Before we get into individual starting lineup,
did you say your prediction?
Who?
Did you say yours, or did I miss that?
No. If the only way Man United win this game is if they score first, and Arsenal decide to come at them. That is the only way Man United win this game. I actually think I think we will score, but I think Arsenal win 2-1. I think it's a 2-1. I don't see us drawing the game. I think if it goes 2-1, if you score 2 goals, I don't trust this side enough to fight back. Like the form you're on, I can just see you applying pressure to our defence the whole time, and I don't know whether our midfielders got enough there to break that down with the way you've been playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we go into individual lineups, because obviously we'll do your Manchester United lineup, what you want, and me and Egal will do an Arsenal lineup as well. Let's do a joint lineup. Let's do a Manchester United Arsenal joint lineup. And we'll start with goalkeeper. Who are we going with?
Egal's going to say Leno. I'm going to say Holding. No, Holding. That's in the chat. I want to say De Gea. I honestly don't care. De Gea's the better goalkeeper, but I know how much Egal rates Leno in it. So one of those two, I will happily concede to Leno. I don't care, man.
Indiana?
I think as a goalkeeper, it's got to be De Gea. As a shot
You're the tiebreaker.
And you're going with Leno, Egal?
Yeah, you're the tiebreaker.
You know what? I'm going to go with De Gea, purely and simply because I think his distribution's better than Leno. Leno's distribution is what lets him down. Although in recent weeks he has commanded his box a lot better, his distribution has been a lot better. But I just think David De Gea is that one level just above Bernd Leno for me. Let's go right back.
Oh, AWB, like done.
Yeah, keep it moving.
No shout for Cedric?
Nah, bro, keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Okay, so we've gone with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Centre-back pairing?
Are we going off form or ability?
If we go on,
go off form if you like, or ability.
Buy Ian Maguire. If you got a form, buy Ian Maguire.
Buy Ian Maguire. Right, okay.
he's been in and out of the team though all season. Really?
All right, but either way, then Maguire in. Then who do you want then?
Holding.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. Holding's been pretty decent this season.
Cool. I'll happily concede Bailly for Holding if you guys want. Yeah, Indiana, what are you saying?
Bailly's injured anyway, so yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Left back?
Luke Shaw.
No, don't even.
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw has been immense in the last few games. But come on, bro.
You can't even argue that, Egal.
Has he been better than Tierney, then?
Hit his level, yeah.
Tierney has been very, very good. Tierney's been very, very good. But look at the level of opposition. Look at how Luke Shaw's been playing against Mo Salah and the better teams that we've been playing against. Like, my man's pocketed Traore. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going against some good attackers and he's come up tops. He's been excellent.
I think we have more clean sheets than you. I think he's created more chances than Luke Shaw, or especially just one game. That West Brom game alone, Kieran Tierney created 12 chances. That West Brom game alone. So I don't know what Luke Shaw. I know Luke Shaw's been playing well defensively, and I know that he's been integral to how you guys have been playing this season. But at the same time, to me, Kieran Tierney has been more immense for us. He's been more integral to our attack. How is it that a left back is missing from a game, and you're missing him so much where you can't even, you have to find a whole new way to attack? because we
Yo,
can't attack from the left-hand
we
side.
like that too, you know. Like, yo, Tellers this season has not been Tellers this season has not been lived up to expectations.
He got an
He had,
assist the other day.
he had to bring on Luke Shaw to try and win a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luke Shaw has been so good, and he would also have assists to his name if people would finish his chances. He's been creating chances.
Or even get in there, even move.
Yeah, like even move to get like Luke Shaw's been playing really well. I've been criticizing Luke Shaw. I've criticized Luke Shaw quite a bit, but when he's playing like this, I have to back him, bruv. You know what I'm saying? He almost set up the winner against Liverpool. You're gassing up a goal against West Brom, which was a very good goal. I'm not taking away from him. But look at the levels, fam.
Listen, if you had Kieran Tierney in your team, you would have, I would say, maybe a 0.8 more goals per game, based on the amount of creation he's done this season.
But also would have conceded more goals too, bruv.
No, you wouldn't. You would concede
Yes.
less.
No, we wouldn't concede less. You know why we wouldn't concede less? Because Mo Salah would eat Kieran Tierney for breakfast.
That's not true. He's passed that test last year. It's just this year.
No. This year, man got spun like a spinning top, bruv. Man turned into a blade, fam. Don't act like I didn't see that, fam. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like my man wasn't getting sniped. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing him falling over for no reason. Come on, Egal. I get Tierney's sick.
You know what? If you want to take it, you can take it. But there's gonna have to be a compromise somewhere else later.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
You know what it is? No. It doesn't need to be compromised, because I think Tierney's ceiling is a lot higher as a player.
Yes, that's true.
It is, and I think in Scotland he was outstanding. I just don't think we've seen that Tierney yet. And Luke Shaw has improved. He's been amazing this season. Overlaps, underlaps, working with Rashford, tucking in, like his defensive play, crosses in the box, driving forwards with the ball. He's been massive for Manchester United. Huge. I think he's had a much bigger impact on Manchester United, hence where we are in the table right now, than Tierney has on Arsenal. I have to say that. And I rate Tierney higher than I do Luke Shaw in terms of what their ceiling are, the footballer they can be.
Yes, that is facts. No one's arguing that.
Do you know what I'm going to do, right? Because I don't think I could bring myself to put Luke Shaw in over Tierney. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let people in the comments decide. Luke Shaw or Kieran Tierney.
That's fair. That's fair. Cool.
Go on, KJ.
So can we say, we're doing 4-3-3 and then making us simple. Bruno and Pogba are in there. Everyone else can scrap for the CDM or Partey. And Partey, they're done. Yeah. Done.
Okay, so we've gone Pogba.
Gal's not happy.
Bruno. And, of course, had to be Thomas Partey. Would you agree with that, Egal?
Do you wanna make a case for anybody else? I'm asking.
No, if you want to say Xhaka, then I would love to see you argue that. That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, if we're going 4-3-3, the only person that you could probably make a case for is Emil Smith-Rowe. But aside from that, there isn't really anybody else.
Do you guys want to make a case for Fred? Because I thought Pastor Fred, he was killing it.
All right. Pastor Fred is great, and he does what he does well, but we're not deluded. You know what I'm saying? Partey's his levels, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, his levels.
I'll leave it as is. I'm happy with that.
Okay. Front three. KJ, go for it. What's your
front three? Okay, here we go. Marcus Rashford on the left, Saka on the right. Striker is just like a toss-up between whoever in it. I think because it's my guy, I'll say Cavani. But if you guys say Lacazette, I would also understand. So yeah, I'll say Cavani.
Indiana.
Same front three for me, and I'm not taking no argument with Cavani and Lacazette. Come on.
Okay, Egal.
Lacazette, Saka, and Aubameyang. Let's go.
Lacazette, Saka,
no. Capping.
You put Eric Bailly in.
So. Yeah, but I took him out because I knew it was cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's capping.
If you want to do that, we'll do Rashford, Lacazette, and Saka.
How
I think
playing Lacazette over Cavani? Cavani's been our
Lacazette
best
has
player.
been one of the most informed players in the Premier League. Do you not look at? Have you seen his stats for the past 8 games? He's had a goal and assist almost every single game.
Okay.
Bar one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
what
enough.
you saying?
You do what you need to. I strongly disagree because I think Cavani is integral to how we play. He runs from minute 1 to minute 90. He's the one who creates all the spaces, creates all the chances, allows Bruno that space. Without Cavani, if we play Martial up top, we've got no chance of winning that game. Let me tell you, and Cavani doesn't even need to score. That's how important he is. Whereas I actually think you could play Aubameyang through the middle, and you could still win the game. I think if you take that, I'm just saying about which player in these two sides is more important to the side. You think striker?
Lacazette has 8 goals this season, 1 assist in the Premier League alone. Okay, now this is a man who is integral to our setup. Saka is the creator. Emile Smith Rowe is a creator. Aubameyang is playing as a second striker off the cutting up as an inside forward. The only person who's linking everything together is him. If we take him out of the side, it doesn't work. In your system, you know how you're saying Cavani is integral using his runs and everything else? Lacazette is just as integral. The thing is, Lacazette has clangers. He has open goal opportunities one-on-one against the keeper, and he's messed up numerous times. That's what you see. You don't see all the little things that he does. And if you were to take him out of the team and put in an Eddie Nketiah or even a Aubameyang, it wouldn't work.
I see them. I see what he does. I just don't think he's good enough to trump Cavani. Cavani is just a better striker all around. I don't think. Like I understand. It's what I mean. I understand why. That's why I said I can hear that. I understand why, especially with his form. But even with Cavani's form, and just as a player, you take Cavani. In my personal opinion.
Do you know what? Of course, I'm going to have the final say on this. I'm going to agree with Indiana and KJ on this one. I think you've got to put Cavani in there, based off the fact that he's also, what is he now, 34-year-old?
Yeah, something like 33, 34, yeah.
33, 34. He's banging goals. He's doing what he's been doing in France. You can't argue with it, really, And yeah, you've got to have Cavani in there over Lacazette, although Lacazette has done very well this season. The only one thing, I just want to go back to midfield, guys, right? What about this guy?
I can't believe you had that picture ready.
My man said, what about Jesse Lingard? All right, listen.
Because we was told, right, a couple of years ago that the Emirates was his dance floor. And then since then, he's gone missing. What's all that about?
All right, listen, my man has barely been at the Emirates, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happened. But, yo, if he goes West Ham, have you played West Ham at home yet?
Have we played West? We played West Ham once, but I don't think it was at home. No.
Yeah. All right. What? Yo, listen. I beg he goes West Ham, yeah, and makes it his dance floor once again for West Ham. That'd be flipping hilarious. No, I would love that. But yeah, Jesse Lingard. I hope he gets his move away, and starts playing football again because he's 28. He needs to finish his career strong, and just for him as a person, I just want good things for a minute. So yeah, man. Hopefully he does go to West Ham and hopefully he does turn the Emirates to his dance floor once again.
Okay. Just a quick one, right? Before we move on to individual starting 11s for the game, obviously. Manchester United, the transfer window. Obviously, what is it? It's the 28th of January today, so we've got 3 more days left. Man United haven't really done anything in the transfer window. What do you make of that?
It's expected, so there's nothing to say.
Yeah, no, I think we've got targets for the summer. We won't be spending this window because those targets are not available. And smart clubs will do all of their business in the summer. We've still got COVID going on. It's still going to affect prices. It's going to be a buyer's market as far as I'm concerned. So the smarter clubs will be looking to buy it in the summer.
Okay. And what have you made of Arsenal's transfer business in the summer, in this window?
Impeccable, absolutely amazing. There's nothing I can fault. the way that you got Matt Ryan out of nowhere and then Odegaard, oh my, you're back. You are back, and everyone should be shook.
Snatching up Odegaard from all the competition we've had, that tells you. I'm saying a fucking great face. I wish I could. I know.
Can I say
what
something?
happened with Odegaard, but you got him. Mikel Arteta was the reason that he came to Arsenal.
Arteta pull. It's a different knock. It's a different kind of pull.
You know what? The January window is the one window where I think a lot of teams don't like making moves. And the fact that we've had 2 seasons back to back where we've had to make emergency moves, like for a center back and a right back last year, and this year we need a backup goalkeeper and a midfielder. I don't know if I should be happy because we're being proactive and we're getting stuff done, or I should be kind of upset that we haven't done our business properly in the summer, because it shows that we weren't prepared going into the season. So I can see both trains of minds, but I'm quite happy with the moves that we've done, and I'm gonna choose the earlier one and say, hey, at least we're making moves to try to improve our season, and we're not just sitting on our asses during this January window.
Okay. So let's of course move on to starting 11s for Manchester United versus Arsenal. I'm going to go to KJ first. What would be your starting 11 for Man United?
What I like would be De Gea and Nets, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and Bailly, but I think Bailly's injured, so it's going to have to be Lindelof, Luke Shaw, and then it'll be a midfield of Fred and Pogba, and then it will be Bruno, Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Cavani up front. Actually, no, let me take that back. Rashford on the left, Bruno in the middle, Cavani up top, and Diallo at right wing. I'm telling you guys, listen to me. I don't care. It ain't never gonna happen. But you ask me what I want to see, and that's what I want to see. Bro. I would love to see that. But notice, Diallo ain't playing, and McTominay and Fred are starting. That's what's actually gonna happen. But yeah.
Okay. Indiana.
Can't help himself, can he?
As we said, Mengi at the back as well, Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, and Laird.
Bring him back off loan from 2 weeks for loan.
Right,
Bring him back.
Yeah. I agree with Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, because Bailly might be fit. I don't think he will. If he's fit, Maguire, Luke Shaw has to play. I struggle in the midfield. I think we need to be solid in there because of the form. So I'm going to have to say Fred and McTominay. I like the idea of a Pogba coming off the bench. I don't know whether he'll play some sort of diamond though, and fit Pogba in there with Bruno and play a 2 up top. I really don't know. You never know with Ollie. That's the thing. You never know. But yeah, Bruno, Cavani has to play. He has to play Rashford on the left if we do the 4-2-3-1. And on the right-hand side, I'd actually like to see Dan James in this game. I'd actually like to see him stretching Tierney.
If he was playing more on the counter, I would go for it. I'll say, yeah, Dan James. But because I know that we might have more of the ball and be a lot of tighter spaces, Dan James is very ineffective in those kind of games. But I understand why.
Okay, you can ask him to track back, and he's quick. Like I'm thinking, Tierney's no slowpoke, man. That guy's quick.
Yeah. I know he's quick, but I
wouldn't trust Greenwood to track him. That's my issue.
Oh no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Egal, what would be your Arsenal starting lineup?
Leno. I think Arteta's going to play Bellerin, but I would play Cedric. I'm going to go with holding David Luiz because Gabriel and Pablo Mari are probably both going to be out. I'm going to go with, you know what? Do you think Gabriel could be back for this game, or you think he's still going to be out?
It's hard to tell because he looked very off the pace in the FA Cup game, so I don't know whether he'll get risked.
Yeah, so David Luiz then. Tierney is going to be back, hopefully. Midfield of Partey, Xhaka, Emil Smith-Rowe. Hopefully, Partey and Emil Smith-Rowe are both good. I'm pretty sure they're doubtful, but they should play. Right wing, I'm going to have Saka. Left wing, I'm going to have Pepe. And striker, I'm going to have Lacazette.
Okay. I would probably agree with your lineup.
Yo, if Pepe plays left wing, yeah, he's gonna. I'm sorry, he's gonna get locked off. He's gonna get locked off. AWB will have him.
But the way we play him, we don't ask him to run at your right back. We don't ask him to dribble one-on-one against your right back. We ask him to get in between the center back and the right back for those ball splitting passes. So
you have no choice. You have no choice where Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be, bruv. You're acting like he has to stay on the right wing, and that's it, bruv. If Pepe goes inside, so will Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and it'll just be peak.
Yeah, and that's
Do you
Dan
think-
James, because that will happen. AWB will tuck in, and Tierney they'll look to get Tierney out wide down the left-hand side. So I want Dan James playing there, tracking back with his pace. I don't want to see no Pogba, Wan Mata.
Forget about Wan-Bissaka. You guys got a bigger problem with Saka versus Luke Shaw.
You're acting like Luke Shaw did not pocket Traore, Salah. Like, fam, Luke Shaw will be fine.
Last time Luke Shaw was at the Emirates, he was sitting on his ass as and going like,
against Nicolas Pepe. He ain't going up against Nicolas Pepe this time, if that's your formation.
they can
And
rotate.
Maguire is the
wings.
problem there. Maguire's the problem when it comes to Saka.
Yeah,
He
don't worry
is
about
the
Luke Shaw.
problem because it's not fit.
If you get your center backs isolated one-on-one in the wide positions, they don't have the pace to recover.
That is true, but who says we're going to allow you to have that time and space to do that? Honestly, we don't know how we're going to play. We could play very like the forward four. You guys do what you're going to do, and McTominay and Fred just cover spaces where the centre backs will be exposed. Saka will spin short.
We'll see. We'll see about that one.
We'll see.
Can I ask the Arsenal fans, who don't you want to see play for Man United? Like, what is the lineup that you'd be like, or even the attacking players that you'd be like, I hope they don't play? What system formation do you not want to see against you from Man United?
You can go first if you want to go.
Like, as in, like, who would I not want to see playing for Manchester United?
Yeah, for instance, would you not want to see a Rashford Cavani front two, or a front three of Martial, Rashford, and Cavani? Like, who are the players that you think danger players, and you hope don't play in certain positions?
I would prefer.
First of all, right, if Hector Bellerin's playing on that right, if Hector Bellerin's playing at right back, I really do worry about Marcus Rashford against him. I think Rashford will have him on toast. I think that players like Bruno as well will probably try and isolate that right-hand side because they know that we've got a bit of an issue there. So, but then even if Bruno don't play, you've got Van der Beek as well. You know, you've got a very good squad. Paul Pogba, he doesn't really worry me too much. You know. I think Thomas Partey will have him.
Recent form.
I don't know.
So it looks good.
Rashford's definitely a threat. Rashford is definitely a threat. There's no question.
Simple answer. If you guys are going to play with a different team, I'd prefer to see Dan James. I'd prefer to see Martial. I'd prefer to see Diallo play his first game in the Premier League. You know what I mean? I'd prefer to see what do you call it? Instead of McTominay or Fred, I'd prefer to see Mata. Right? In defense, obviously, I'd prefer to see Tuanzebe or over Eric Bailly or even Lindelof. Even though I don't rate Lindelof that highly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he would still be a second or third choice in our team. So yeah.
Second or third choice, he'll be first choice, mate.
Nah, Lindelof would not be first.
Lindelof for Arsenal will be your first choice centre back, bro.
Me saying second is me putting honor on him. I don't think he would be our second choice.
No, he'll be your first choice centre
Arguably second or third.
If
Egal,
he's better than
if he was at Arsenal, you'd be telling us he's world class.
like, honestly,
We actually don't say any of our players are world class.
who is better than Lindelof in your backline?
No,
Gabriel.
ability. A lot of he's probably better than majority of them, right? But I
Yeah.
would say Gabriel and Holding have been playing better than Lindelof this season.
No, that's cap. That's cap. Listen, your first choice centre back pairing would be Gabriel and Lindelof. Let's not get it twisted, bro. He would be first choice. He would.
That's why I said second or third. Holding is debatable.
Okay. Before we go, guys, because we are an hour in, and we need to wrap this up. Score predictions. Go for it.
Screw it. 2-2. Actually, no. Screw that. 3-3. Screw it, bro. Like, let's go mad.
3-3. Jesus. Indiana.
2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. Egal.
Pipe 3-1.
3-1. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going 1-1. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. I think it's got it written all over it. Yeah. 1-1. People in the comment section, let me know what your scores are real quickly just before we wrap this up. Of course, to Egal, KJ, Indiana, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out, because I know, especially you, KJ, you're a busy guy. So same for you, Egal, and I'm sure Indiana is as well. So thank you for taking the time out to come on the channel, and big up to you both. Big up to you all. And there we go, guys. That is it. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Come on, you Gunners. Hopefully we can get one over them. And we'll wait and see on Saturday.
There you go.